We've just had some crazy news regarding the Fiona Harvey lawsuit against Netflix. Now, you may already know that I've been following this incredibly closely over on this channel, with just keen interest, not really caring about which way this is going to go. But it looks like Netflix have just had an insane boost, as it would seem that court dates and hearings... So it was, said that the court dates were going to be in May of 2025 for this lawsuit. Well, they've apparently just been scrapped. And this is pretty enormous. Now, this does come from a follower of mine who's been, sending me some incredible stuff. And they are also a music teacher. So out of fairness, they've sent this to me to share. So it's only fair that I return the favour. So if you are interested in doing some virtual music lessons, I'll leave a link to their email in the pinned comment and also in the description, so you can go and check them out. Drop them an email if you're keen on that kind of stuff. But they sent me an email saying, hey there, big update. Don't know if anyone else has given you this, but just in case, here it is. Netflix's request to appeal to a higher court case to dismiss has been granted. All suite mediation and court dates have been cancelled until basically a higher court has time to look at this stuff. Netflix really is defending this vigorously. They're not just trying to settle, they're appealing it despite the expense of the higher court. This means they're not going to settle. Now that is pretty enormous, and there is a PDF file, not one of them PDF files like a P Diddy, but a genuine PDF file that follows, and it's a 5-pager. It came out on the 11th of October, according to my calendar. Today it is the 13th, so this is a couple of days old. I'm a bit late to the party, but it looks like, obviously, as you can see, Fiona Harvey versus Netflix, all the rest of it, and this has been filed in attorneys for defendants, Netflix worldwide, all the rest of it, it reads as follows. It is stipulated between the among defendants are Netflix Incorporated and Netflix Worldwide LLC and plaintiff Fiona Harvey, and by their representative counsel as follows. Whereas on June 6, 2024, plaintiff filed a complaint against this matter and served defendants on June 28, 2024. Whereas on July 29, 2024, defendants filed a special motion to strike, requesting to the court to strike all of Harvey's claims in this action. Whereas on September 27, 2024, the court issued a order RE defendants special motion to strike, pursuant of which the court denied defendants special motion to strike in its entirety. Whereas on October 3rd, 2024, defendants filed a notice of appeal for the court order of the United States Courts of Appeal on the Ninth Circuit. Whereas the parties agreed that defendants filing the appeal divested this court of its jurisdiction pending resolution of the appeal. The filing notice, all that jargon, not relevant stuff. Denials of anti-slap motions to strike constitute collateral orders that are immediately appealable. The notice of appeal divests in district court of its control over the aspects of the case involved in the appeal. And whereas the parties agreed to the defendant's filing of appeal resulted in automatic stay of this action pending resolution of the appeal, because defendant's special motion to strike was directed at the entirety of plaintiff's complaint. So basically that whole first part there is essentially kind of a timeline of Netflix's and Fiona's trying to get it striked, trying to get certain parts of the information and the courts struck out so that it doesn't get involved or included within the court documents. But, so all of those were denied thus far, and everything was kind of continuing as follows until it seems settled among the district courts in this state of California that a stay of these proceedings is mandatory because defendant's anti-slap motion was directed at the entirety of plaintiff's complaint. This case must be stayed in its entirety. So basically all the components of this case have to be intact. Nothing is to be struck out. I think on Fiona's side, they wanted Richard Gadd's emails to be redacted first, and that was denied. And then the information of, I think it was Fiona receiving death threats. I think they wanted that struck out, but that's also been denied. Here, defendants moved all strike of all of plaintiffs' claims, and the court denied the motion to strike in its entirety. Therefore, defendants' appeal applies to every claim, i.e., aspect of this action. Appeal imposes an automatic stay of all proceedings related to the issue raised in its anti-slap motion to strike, because that motion addressed its entirety of the plaintiff's original complaint. The stay encompasses proceedings and discovery on plaintiff's claims and defendants contained therein. The appeal of the ruling of the anti-slap motion imposes an automatic stay of all further trial court proceedings on all merits. But obviously, if you don't know what an anti-slap is, basically, an anti-slap is like if I was getting, let's put this into YouTube terms so it's nice and easy to understand. If I was having someone make videos on me, okay, and I wanted to shut them up, I tried to take them to court to shut them up, the person on the receiving end of that, court order could file an anti-slap. And what that means is it's like, you can't take me to court to shut me up, all right? And then the court decides whether it's warranted or not. Basically, it's a way to stop people from being legally silenced unfairly. Anyway, moving forward. Accordingly, it is hereby stipulated and agreed by and between the parties through their respective councils and subject to the court's approval. That's 1. Proceedings in this court have been stayed as of October 3rd, 2024 and shall continue to be stayed until the exhaustion of the defendant's appeal. 2. All pre-trial deadlines and dates and the trial date are currently vacated. So obviously just the date of May in 2025 is completely... it's just vacated. It's not going to be used anymore. 3. In the event of the United States Court of Appeals in the Ninth Circuit affirms the denial of the defendant's special motion to strike or otherwise remands the case back to this court, the court shall lift the stay and enter a scheduling order on the new pre-trial deadlines and the dates on the new trial date. So basically, what that's saying, from what I've grasped, is that this is moving forwards under a new court, and if they refuse it, it will just fall back to the court in California, and then that will then they'll just pick it up and continue as they were. So that seems to be where we're at with it, which is really interesting, because who actually wins here? I mean, obviously the court, it's not officially cancelled, but it's just been moved higher up in the court system, and there's no guarantee that it will go to this court. And it does seem that Netflix are standing by what they said when they said, we will be defending this vigorously. And then just the final 2 pages are literally just dated by these people. Obviously, that's the attorneys for Netflix. And then it's been also signed by Richard Roth and the attorneys for Fiona Harveys. So this was an agreed action to take it higher, which is interesting, because obviously, it's got to be within the interest of both parties for it to be escalated to a higher court. Maybe there's a potential of a bigger payout for Fiona Harvey, and maybe there's a higher chance of it getting thrown out altogether for Netflix. Maybe it's just like a higher risk, higher reward situation for both parties. And then on the final page, attestation regarding signatures. Pursuant to local rule, I hereby attest that all other signatories listed and on whose behalf the filing is submitted concur in this filing's content and have been authorised this filing, dated October 11th, 2024, by Marvin S. Putnam. So there we go. It's not it's not thrown out as in it's not a cancelled case, but it is cancelled in that sense. It's cancelled to the degree that the case won't be moving forward in the way that we have been expecting it to. So that May deadline is now probably going to be pushed back a hell of a lot more, because if it's going up to a higher court, obviously they deal with a lot higher things. They're going to have a lot more demand, as there's fewer of those courts. So that means that, we're probably going to see this trial drag on for an extended period of time. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump to get the hell out of that like button if you have not already. Subscribe if you're new. And until next time, I will speak to you later. Peace.